Greg Ehrenberg here from Odd Chopper. It's time for the weekend, time for a big baseball slate, time for more MLB bets. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment below. I always like to know what it is that you guys are betting. And yesterday, it was a train wreck. It was bad for all of us. Not quite as bad as it was for a team like, say, the Boston Red Sox, who totally got their asses kicked. But my bets went 1-3 yesterday. Also in the YouTube chat yesterday, the comments. All of the bets lost with the exception being Joe Yurkovich. He had a winning bet. He picked Braxton Garrett over 5Ks. He had a really nice outing. Other than that, though, my picks weren't great. And in the YouTube comment also, your guys, we need to get ourselves back on track a little bit after the All-Star break because we were really hot going into the break and we've come a little bit cold out of the break. But things are going to get better going forward. All I really need is your guys' support here with some of those comments below, your engagements via likes and subscriptions to the YouTube channel. And we'll be back on our winning ways sooner rather than later. So hopefully starting that today. And with these picks right here, these are the best bets for Saturday's slate. To open up our weekend, I'm honing in on the hottest dong pick of the day, and that's Giancarlo Stanton plus 390 to homer against Jordan Lyles. Stanton, when he's healthy, is one of the best power hitters in baseball, and in general, he's been healthier than not this year. Staying on the field has been a task for Stanton over the last few years, but at least for a one-day betting purpose, he's expected to be in the lineup today, and for all intents and purposes, if there's ever a point where Stanton's going to be the healthiest, it's going to be after the All-Star break, after he had a layoff. So far, 79 games played for Stanton this year, 24 homers. So he's on pace to go for 40-plus homers this year, and he's a matchup in Jordan Lyles. It's a pitcher who is very prone to giving up homers because Lyles does not really strike out a lot of hitters. The ball gets put in play against him a lot, and the ball gets put in play against him in the air a whole bunch as well. So only a 40% ground ball rate for Lyles this season. He also has an 11.7% home run to fly ball rate. Typically, we see him somewhere around that 15% mark for his career. Last year was all the way up at 17.4. And then also you look at the last start he had prior to the All-Star break, 2 2/3 innings pitched for Jordan Lyles. He gave up 6 runs, 2 homers overall for the season. He's given up 15 homers in 19 starts, so allowing about 1 homer per start. And there aren't too many hitters on the Yankees who are more likely to homer than Giancarlo Stanton. Aaron Judge, Stanton, these are the 2 hitters that on a day-to-day basis are most likely to go yard. And then Stanton, like I said, he's healthy right now. The numbers look good for the year. And if you look at our data over on Odd Chopper, we have Stanton with a 24% chance to homer today. It makes him one of the top home run picks on the board. So plus 390, Giancarlo Stanton is my hottest dong pick of the day. If you guys are looking for some spending money to help build your bankroll, BetMGM is going to give you $200 for free when you sign up for the first time. This is all you need to do to take advantage of that offer. Sign up using the promo code OSMLB or sign up using the link in the description box below. And then when you place any $10 money line bet on an MLB game today, BetMGM is going to give you $200 for free. That is it. That is all you need to do to collect $200 and build up your bankroll to win some more money on the MLB in the second half of the season. So this is what I think you should do. You sign up, you get the $200, and then you start betting it on some of my picks over the course of the second half of the season. And then you have some real money in your account by the time basketball and football season roll around. It's $200. It's free. Take advantage of the offer. After the Blue Jays put up 28 runs against the Red Sox yesterday, who wants to pick on their offense? Well, I do a little bit, but it really is just because of the odds we're getting here on Kutter Crawford. His over-under for strikeouts is 4.5. That looks a little low to me. We have him projected for 5.2 strikeouts, but in addition to that, it's plus 130 on the over 4.5 Ks for Kutter Crawford. So we have the over hitting nearly 60% of the time in our projections when we're getting plus 130 odds. That all equals pretty good value. And if you look at the numbers we've seen out of Kutter Crawford this year, they're pretty solid, especially on the strikeout front. So now he's stretched out. He first broke into the big leagues. He was pitching in relief for Boston, slowly getting stretched out and getting worked into a starter role. Also had some appearances where he came out of the bullpen and pitched middle relief innings. But the last 3 outings for Crawford, 6 strikeouts against the Rays, 6 against the Yankees, and 8 against the Rays. Those are 3 fairly difficult matchups. The Blue Jays are obviously also a difficult matchup after what we saw yesterday. But we've seen him have 3 consecutive good outings against good offenses, and we're getting really good odds here at plus 130. So I'm going to be picking on the Blue Jays offense here a little bit. I think there is some recency bias that's driving down the number on Kutter Crawford. So as long as we're getting these plus 130 odds, it looks like a good bet to me. Kutter Crawford over 4.5 strikeouts. Just a couple years ago, James Kaprielian kind of came out of nowhere to become a quality big league pitcher, and those times have faded pretty hard because Kaprielian this year is a 5.09 ERA, a 5.78 FIP, and he just doesn't generate strikeouts anymore. So for today, I'm looking at under 4.5 strikeouts for James Kaprielian. I know that number might seem a little low, but when you consider it only has a 15.2% K rate, and I'm going to read off some of his strikeout numbers in recent starts, 4.5 doesn't seem like too low of a number at all. Last start against the Texas Rangers, he had 4 strikeouts. The time before that, 1 strikeout, then 4 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts. Before that, he did have an outing with 7 strikeouts against the Mariners. Before that, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So over the course of his last 10 starts, he's only had more than 5 strikeouts or more than 4 strikeouts in one of those outings. So the strikeout stuff just isn't there for James Kaprielian this year. And it's hard to say exactly why, but I think what we could kind of point to is this is a pitcher who is an unknown. He was a not ranked prospect, broke into the big leagues, and immediately found some success. And I think it's just because pitchers, or at least teams going up against this pitcher, they just didn't know what to expect from him. And now that there's a little bit more of a book on what it is that he does, what his pitch mix is, his velocity and all that, and that there's more video on him, I think the teams are having better success against him. And even in the minor leagues, things haven't been all that great for Kaprielian. This year, he made 2 starts down in AAA because of his struggles at the big leagues. And he had a 9.35 ERA and a 5.92 FIP in those minor league outings. So as of right now, this just does not look like a quality big league pitcher, somebody who probably doesn't even belong at the major league level, let alone the minor league level, given some of the results he had there. So I'm going to be siding with under 4.5 strikeouts for Kaprielian. I really think this number should be 3.5, considering the strikeout numbers from over the last month and a half or so. For my final bet of the day, I'm looking at under 7.5 strikeouts for Justin Verlander. And I don't have too much negative to say about Verlander. He's been really good this year to a point that doesn't even make sense. 39 years old, coming off Tommy John surgery, hasn't pitched in 2 years. He has a 1.89 ERA, a 3.1 expected ERA. But I don't know that his strikeout stuff really warrants having a 7.5 strikeout rate in most matchups. He has a 25.6% K rate this year. That's really strong, but it is a little bit diminished from when we last saw him pitch. Last year in the big leagues, 2020, 33.3% K rate, 2019, 35.4%, 2018, 34.8%. So despite all the success for Verlander, there has been a little bit of a dip in his K rate. Now his last start, he put up 10 strikeouts. That was against the Oakland A's, so that is one of the easier matchups possible. If you look at his numbers overall for the year, he's only gone for 8 or more strikeouts in 6 starts for the entire season. So he's hit the under in 11 out of 17 starts. He also has a matchup against the Seattle Mariners team that's better than expected against right-hand pitching. A big part of that reason is because they've added Julio Rodriguez to the roster, and he's quickly become one of the young stars in baseball and looks like a future MVP candidate. I know he was scratched from last night's start late, but it doesn't appear that's too much of a concern going forward. It's expected only be for precautionary reasons. It seemed like he's going to be back in the lineup today. As far as our projections go, this is one of our higher probability bets on this slate. We have the under hitting 73% of the time, with the projected strikeout number at 6.1 for Justin Verlander. So the number 7.5, our projections indicate 6.5 is the fair number. So I'm siding with the under here. Justin Verlander under 7.5 strikeouts. So to recap, these are my favorite MLB bets to open up the weekend. I've got Giancarlo Stanton plus 390 to homer. Then Kutter Crawford over 4.5 strikeouts. That is plus 130. James Kaprielian under 4.5 strikeouts. And finally, Justin Verlander under 7.5 strikeouts. Those are my favorite bets of the day. But what are your guys? I always want to hear from you in the comments section. Whatever it is you're betting today, let me know below, whether it's a player prop, a team total, a run line, money line, whatever it might be. Let me know what you got money on in the comment section below. Also, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want free money, go check out BetMGM. Sign up for the first time using the link in the description box below. You're going to get yourself $200 for free. That's as good as an offer as you could possibly get. But other than that, guys, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the weather, and good luck today.